Right, so today everyone, Miss and I will be teaching this classroom. This presentation is actually based on the research that we did based on our visit here at the Skeleton Line Park dump site. The condition is to first hand to gather evidence to support our findings. So we're going to go straight into our objectives for today. So by the end of this lesson, you all should be able to do 3 key things.
Alright, the first one is you will be able to identify the major causes of land pollution at the Skeleton Line dump site.
Good. Secondly, you'll be able to explain effects on health and the environment.
And finally, the final one, you should be able to propose realistic solutions for waste management. Wonderful. The materials that we use during this lesson is going to include a field study photos, chart paper and markers, a projector, a short pollution video, and a waste type chart. Continuing. Alright, we're going to begin with the causes of land pollution.
Good. So for the cause of land pollution, let's begin with the major cause of land pollution. The first one we have, and the most obvious one, is an uncontrolled dump site where garbage is thrown everywhere, right? Even in waterways. Secondly, this is excessive use of single-use plastic and styrofoams, which do not dispose easily. Third, we observe poor waste collection. Garbage trucks do not visit the areas regularly. And finally, improper disposal of plastics, for example, open burning, were common and very harmful. Students, by a show of hand, how many of you have seen any of these happening in your communities? Alright, good. Right, so it's prevalent in all of our communities where we would see normally people would be disposing of their garbage wherever. Or you can be passing in a car and you see people just dump their packs and their bottles all over on the roadside, right? Yes.
Continuing. Now with everything we would have said, right? What are the effects of land pollution? What land pollution actually does to the environment and to the people living around that? We have one major effect is serious health risk. Pests such as rats and flies thrive in garbage and toxic fumes. From burning waste can cause respiratory illness. We also observe soil and water contamination around the dump site. These affect plants, animals, and even the community's water supply. And don't forget the strong odors and unattractive appearance of the area, which lowers community crime. So everyone living around Line Pad, around the dump site, you know exactly what we're talking about. If you're around here, you know when they're burning, the fumes that's going up in the air, it's not a pleasant odor, right? And it's very unhealthy to breathe in that fumes-created odor every single day. Now we're going to move on to the findings from the waste site.
Great. So the findings that we have here for our waste site chart. First up, during the field study, we would have recorded and categorized the types of waste we would have found. So the first one, as you can see, is plastic. It is made up of 50%. That's half of the garbage we documented. Half. Plastic is half of the garbage we documented. As I would have mentioned earlier, when we were in the cars, let's say we're traveling down to New Amsterdam, one of the first things we would see is everybody always eat a little bag of chips, throw it back outside. Drink the water with water, throw it out outside, right? So plastic is 50%. 50%. Styrofoams accounted for 20%. That is clothing and textile for 15%, food waste for 9%, and miscellaneous items for 6%. This shows clearly that non-biodegradable waste is the biggest contributor to pollution in air. So non-biodegradable waste is the biggest contributor to pollution in our area, or rather the area in Skellern-Lime Park. So students, why do you think plastics dominates the waste? Plastics, why do you think plastics dominate the waste? Any response? Yes?
Because everybody throw their bottles and planting chips out the windows. They also burn their garbage every time.
Yeah.
They never dispose. They don't want to pay for the garbage.
Alright, great. Which brings us to our next point of possible solutions. Mitchell, let's do this.
Okay, continuing. Now, even though this is so harmful and it's a problem, we do have solutions for it, right? One is community cleanup drives, where residents work together to remove garbage. Now, I'm not sure if you're aware of what's happening in your community, but a few months back, we would have had a community cleanup where a club would have went out and did a community cleanup. We had volunteers to help out as well. Another solution is promoting recycling and composting, especially for plastics and organic waste. So, for another class, we would have done recycling of plastic. We created earrings out of cans, out of plastic, and used pearls. And everything that we have that is waste, we would recycle it into jewelry. So that is one example of how we can recycle. We also need waste separation at home, so garbage can be managed more effectively, where we would put plastics in one bin, where we put paper in one bin, like separate them, so we can dispose of them accordingly. And of course, public awareness programs can help teach people how to dispose of waste properly. As Sarah would have said when he was driving down, they just throw the plastic out. But obviously that is not right. So having a public awareness program can help educate people on how to dispose of it properly. And finally, the municipal authorities need to improve garbage collection systems. Now, all of these are possible solutions that can be implemented, alright? Now, we're going to move on.
Right, so when Miss talked about, go back to that one, when Miss talked about the municipal waste system, she's referring to like people from the town council, normally they would have those tractors, travailing all over of the road of Curvaton, and different areas we would go just to collect garbage from different households. So if we can improve on municipal waste systems, then maybe our environment can be a better place. Then we do not know too how they get rid of these garbage. Right, so that would have brought us to the end, closer to the end of this presentation, and so we're going to talk about the conclusion. So we would have said that land pollution at Skellern-Lime Park is caused by improper waste disposal, poor infrastructure, and excessive use of plastics, right? It affects human health, the natural environment, and the cleanliness of the community, right? So, but with teamwork and the education, once we sensitize your students and you go home to tell your parents and then you tell your cousins, then we can be able to dispose of waste in a proper fashion and manner, so it can be reduced significantly. We are going to now take you guys into a few recommendations from the field study. So one of the first things that is back out.
homemade.
Alright, we're going to continue. Good. So one of the first things that we will give to you is that based on our recommendations from the field study, it will be what we observe is that these are our recommendations. So one of the first things we'll do is increase garbage collection frequency so waste does not pile up. Next.
Another one would be install communal bins in high traffic areas.
Yeah.
So this could be like installing the market. If you go to the beach, you will see that a lot of people go to the beach, right? But there are garbage everywhere. So bins can be implemented in these public places.
Right, so next we can start recycling and proper disposal programs in schools and in communities. So once you guys are sensitized, you will know once you're in your classroom, you do not litter there because we do not litter in our homes.
Continuing, enforce penalties for illegal dumping. Now we have legal dumping where the government will help where service said the trucks go about and collect garbage. But we also have the illegal dumping. How are we enforcing the penalties? I would remember a while back, the government was saying that 10,000 or 5,000 for a vehicle, yes, for the fine. But at the same time, we could put it out there, like start campaigning about the government implementing more penalties for dumping, either increase the fine or something, like let them take this more serious.
Great. So while we are implementing those strategies for penalties, we can also organize monthly cleanups and eliminate burning sites. And finally, we can encourage youth participation through environmental clubs and projects. So we want to take this opportunity to say thank you. Miss and I would like to say thank you for paying attention to this class and to help you understand better or what is important for an improved, better waste disposal, Miss.
Yes. Continuing. Always remember to start with small actions. You are the future generation, and change starts with you. So as you grow, you will be able to help the younger generation as well, and you can be our source to help the people outside and to help with the solutions that we give, the recommendations. And when you go out and see people return, you're like, oh, that's wrong, right? Good. So change can start with you. So you start with change and let others follow your lead.
Great. So you are the change and you create that change. So together, Miss and I would like to simply say together, 2, 3, thank you.